So the Calgary Police Service continues to investigate an incident that occurred yesterday in the northeast part of Calgary. At approximately 2:45 on April 1st, 2014, a 72-year-old woman was approached by her vehicle parked in front of Staples at 565 36th Street Northeast, when an unknown male approached her, pushed her to the ground, and subsequently robbed her of her car and her purse. The man took the victim's keys, purse, entered the vehicle, and backed up. A witness was able to pull the victim away, preventing her from being potentially run over by her own vehicle. The culprit then drove the vehicle east towards 36th Street and fled the area. The vehicle description has partially changed from what was originally released. It is described as a 2007 gold-colored Toyota Corolla, four-door. The woman was treated at the scene by EMS but was not transported. The suspect is described as possibly being Middle Eastern, 20 to 30 years old, clean cut, dark hair with a slim build. His clothing description is wearing a brown or dark colored bomber jacket with blue jeans and sunglasses. The vehicle is yet to be recovered, and we're looking for anyone with information about the incident or identity of the suspect or may have witnessed the incident in the Staples parking lot to contact police or Crime Stoppers immediately.
Do you have any more information about the nature of this was considered a random attack, right?
Yes, we would consider this to be the offender being very opportunistic. We have no connection between the possible offender and the victim in this case.
But do you believe that she wasn't known to him, but it's not like he was stalking her, but do you believe she was targeted in the sense that she's an elderly woman, she's by herself, she's parked in a handicap stall?
We're always concerned here at the Calgary Police Service when we have people in our community that would be considered vulnerable, that are at risk with people who basically are predatory in nature. She was likely targeted just for her age and for the access to the vehicle was more likely the outcome looking ahead by this criminal.
Is this very rare, just that atrocious thing with an old lady in a handicapped spot? I mean,
Again,
does that happen here?
Yeah, this is actually a very rare occurrence in the city of Calgary. Robberies, or commonly known as carjackings, are not common. And what's of concern for us in this particular case is the level of violence and force needed or used by the culprit. Again, was excessive, didn't need to be done in this case. The victim, again, followed all the directions we would give anybody. She made a lot of noise, she drew attention to herself, she yelled for help. She didn't fight with her attacker. And again, we still, thankfully for the witnesses that were there, they were able to assist in not only identifying that a crime had occurred, but also in securing her safety and well-being.
I know this is a rare occurrence, but just a little bit on the actions of the witness who pulled her away. Can you just talk a little bit about recommendations of if someone finds themselves in that situation, when they should interject? Like, did the witness do what they should have done, or is it always recommended sometimes?
Sure,
to,
yeah.
like,
The witnesses in this case were outstanding. They were stellar. As a matter of fact, I believe without the intervention of that one singular witness who was able to pull her out of the way, it's unknown what would have been the outcome. They followed the appropriate steps. They did not get involved with the actual offender because we don't want to see anybody get harmed. But what they did do is they made themselves excellent witnesses, and as well as they safeguarded the well-being of somebody, namely a 72-year-old woman.
How many witnesses were there?
Currently, we have over 5 different witnesses on the file, and we're hoping is that from this release that we'll get some other people who may have been able to identify or maybe have seen the vehicle leave the area.
There was talk from the witnesses of trying to pull other phones and grab pictures. Do you have any is that something people should they be pulling other phones?
You know what is a huge portion of police work nowadays is capturing images via CCTV, be they through public or private recordings. Everybody has a cell phone nowadays, and almost everybody's cell phone has the capability to take video or pictures. That is the most safest and least intrusive method for witnesses to secure and document what they've seen without actually having to get involved. And we highly recommend that if you can.
With that being said, was there surveillance video?
We are still pursuing that aspect. This is an outside location in a common area parking lot. It's not very common that we have surveillance video in those areas.
And just also, how, it's already a rare incident, you know, to do something that terrible and knock over a 72-year-old woman. Is it more alarming the fact that it happened at 2:45 p.m., like broad daylight in the afternoon? Does that make it even that much more unusual?
Well, and again, depending on the situation, in this particular case, it's alarming because of the force used. But there are areas of the city that it is actually quieter at 2:45 in the afternoon than, say, 7, 8 o'clock in the afternoon or evening, say in a mall or something like that. So
How is she doing?
physically, she's fine. She's very shaken up, and the Calgary Police Service, through our Victims Assistance Unit, has offered all the support that we can, including support through the family as well as judicial support to see where this is going ahead, insurance, helping report, things like that.
I understand she had some concern yesterday that, you know, the person that took her stuff, they have her purse, they have all of her identification. Is that a risk that she could actually be, you know?
And again, as an investigator and as part of the team here, we try to mitigate any risk or any threat to the victim. We've gone over extensive safety planning with the victim in this case, which we won't discuss, but it does entail taking into consideration that her address and keys are out there with an individual that stole them. So.